Thanks for tuning in to the KRVN Sports Podcast page, your home for all of the local broadcasts produced by KRVN Sports. This page and the playback is brought to you by Hoegemeyer Hybrids, raising the bar on yield performance. For KRVN Sports, I'm Jason Jorgensen. Big news made this week in the high school coaching circles as Longtime York head high school football coach Glen Snodgrass announced that he is stepping down as head coach of the Dukes. He had spent a tremendous tenure there as a head coach. That was following up what he did, winning a state championship at Overton. This week I talked to Glen, and he talks about what went into this decision to step away from coaching.
Well, I think ever since both of my sons graduated and became college football players, it was always in the back of my mind. I chased Garrett around throughout the country, basically, to a Nebraska football schedule for 5 years, and I just never felt like I could really be fully present. It was one of those deals where I'd have to take off after a game and drive all night, and I'd get, to Champaign, Illinois or wherever and watch the game and, have to turn around and go right back home and watch film the whole time, and then be exhausted on Sunday. And it was just an over and over deal for 5 years. And, last year was even the toughest because I had both of them playing with Dalton at UNK and Garrett at Nebraska. And so I've got 2 or 3 years left with Dalton playing at UNK. And I just kind of would like to, my wife Allison and I would both like to just be able to be fully present and just kind of be a dad for him. And, and I've been coaching 27 years, been a head coach for 26, and it's just, it wears on you a little. And so, I think the biggest reason I did it was to really be a full-time parent for my boys and be able to be fully present in Dalton's career at UNK. So, it was a very difficult decision, but that was basically the main reason.
One thing that's always impressed me with you being a head coach is your consistency at both places. I would think that has to be something you're proud of.
Well, yeah, absolutely, and that's one thing that the teams that I coach, I always want them to kind of take another step every year and just do something a little bit better every year, and that doesn't necessarily mean winning more games or winning championships, just getting better in some aspect every year. And when I was at Overton, we always tried to add something every year. And, at the end of that time, I kind of tried to sit down and really decide what exactly we were doing that was right, that we could carry over to York. And then that's kind of when that buzzword of culture really was coming out. And so I kind of tried to sit down and define exactly what that culture was. And then when we came over here, I tried to implement it. I wasn't trying to make this Overton, but I was trying to do the things that we did there that worked, that made it consistent. We weren't having big ups and big downs. It was kind of consistently on an upward trajectory. And so that culture we just installed here, and we got better at it. And we installed a cultural blueprint that we could go back and, look at whenever we needed to. And it was able to kind of smooth out the rough edges. So it never got, too bad. We're always, through the ups and downs of athletes, we're always able to kind of maintain that consistency. So I guess culture is the biggest thing. But the other great thing is I had amazing coaches for 26 years, and I had amazing kids for 26 years. And, man, those coaches that I was blessed to work with were just incredible.
I was going to ask you about that. When you get involved in sports, you certainly get a chance to be a part of people's lives and touch people's lives, and I'm sure that has to be one of the more rewarding things about this run.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's what, if you're in it for winning games, you're not going to last long. I mean, it's when, especially, I'm just, if you're a football coach, and I'll just say that 'cause that's where I'm at or where I was at. You've got to, right or wrong, you got a platform. I mean, right or wrong, the kids are going to listen to you, maybe even a little more than the teachers will in the classroom. You've got a platform, and if you don't use it, you're really missing the boat as a coach, and so we put a real high premium ever since the early days at Overton on character development, on, themes every week, themes like integrity and leadership and, loyalty and things like that if you're not teaching those things, you're missing the boat as a coach. And those things make better kids become better young men and better husbands and better dads. But they also help you win games. It's not because you don't do it just for the winning games part, but it's sure a nice little byproduct. So. Yeah, absolutely. And man, I've heard already back from so many kids that I've coached over the years, and it almost does get emotional. It's pretty awesome hearing stories from kids that I coached, 27 years ago that still use some of those character lessons to this day and still remember those things. And that matters to me. State championships are awesome. But man, those stories and those messages mean way more than any trophy would.
Well, I'm sure they're going to miss you at York, but we're going to look forward to seeing you at more Loper games, I would assume, over the next couple of years.
Yeah, we've been to all the home games, but we can actually maybe spend a little time in Kearney now. So we're excited about being a little bit better fans and down at Kearney. Excited about the future there.
That was Glen Snodgrass, who once again is stepping down as head football coach at York High School. He's still going to be in the York school system. He will keep his current responsibilities as a teacher, but is giving up football. And what a run he had at York, and before that, what a run he had at Overton. For KRVN Sports, I'm Jason Jorgensen.